And good morning again, everybody, as we welcome you back to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for the Canadian Ball Hockey Association Men's BC&D and Women's B National Championships. My name is George Scott, along with cameraman Stephen Courtney, getting set for game number 2 of 8 that we will bring you today. This one between the Toronto Monsters and the hometown Saskatoon Lads. One would think that the blue would be Toronto and the green would be Saskatoon, and you would be wrong. The Saskatoon Lads in the dark jerseys with the red trim, and the Toronto Monsters, as in the Monster Energy drink. You see the logo on their jerseys. I assume they are sponsored, not doing that for free. Set to get underway. In goal to our left for the Monsters is number 50, Sean Fernandez. And to our right for the Saskatoon Lads, Robbie Huffnagel. And okay, here we go. Game 2, Toronto, Saskatoon. Diving to try and get to it was Eric Meyer of Saskatoon. Ball went into the corner. Saskatoon maintained possession. They'll throw it in behind the goal. Waiting for it back there is Keegan Jackstrite. Back to the Landers. Shot by Grimm goes in behind the goal. Bounces around, taken by O'Donoghue for Toronto. Stolen away at the blue line by Joshua Grimm. Cleared down the floor, and we'll get our first whistle coming 47 seconds into the opening period. A flooring call against Saskatoon. That shot tipped wide of the goal. Good hard shot by Riley May. That's picked off, and Saskatoon tried to bring it out, knocked off their stick right at the blue line. Now it's Anderson. Anderson will go into the corner against May. Anderson and May. Anderson comes up with it, tries to wrap around, scores! Great effort. Josh Anderson did it all himself. I think we will just get the celebration, folks, unfortunately. A little late again to the party, but there's Anderson leading the charge to the bench. 1-0 for the home side. It's one of those ones where you click on something that doesn't quite take. We've all been there, right? Really? Backhanded in by Toronto. On it first back there was Morgan Bogdan. And they respond quickly. Do the Monsters. Shortly after the first goal, Saskatoon with a chance to move it out. Kept in beautifully there by Quattriachachi. And then it's thrown in front, and they bury it behind Huffnagel. And very quickly, 1-1. Another shot on goal, and the goalie, that one hit him in the mask, in the cage, and he is shaken up. That's why the whistle has gone. Bit of a break there for Toronto as the rebound had come right out to the Saskatoon player who was hoping for the one-timer on the rebound. We've got a Toronto player hobbling to the bench. That's Dylan Stoneham. He hurt himself on that play. Fernandez seems to be okay in goal for Toronto. Less than 2 minutes in, we've had a couple of goals already. One for each side. Smith, cross floor. He'll get it in over the blue line, poked out, kept in. A couple of players went tumbling over on the far side of the floor. Ball comes loose. Smith has it for Toronto. Back to Pelig. To Zachariah. He's checked at center. Kicks it back to Smith. Smith, watched by DeLate. Gets it to Zachariah. Zachariah's got some room. Late change for Toronto. Bit of a sloppy one. Late change rather for Saskatoon. Allows Toronto to bring it out. Goes down into the corner. Toronto waiting for it back there. It's Smith. Gets it to the side of the goal. Goes back to the boards. Finally, Saskatoon come away. Ayula. Weak backhand. Fernandez has that, and he will hold on. Pretty good opening pace to this one. Just over 3 minutes gone. No lack of scoring chances. Anderson won the faceoff against Zachariah. Carter with a long shot, tipped out of play, one off the stick of Keegan Jackstite of Saskatoon, so that's why the faceoff will come outside of the blue line. Inglis to May. May steps away from the forechecker and heads up the floor. May with good speed through the middle. Pass on the right side. That was O'Donoghue, the recipient of the pass. Now he'll battle for it down in the corner. Toronto come up with it. Zarefa was heading for the front of the goal. Ball missed him, and it is just kept onside. Toronto still on it. Now it's cleared away. And the referee, the blue line to our left, has called a penalty for body checking. It will go against, I believe, Saskatoon. That's who's in the penalty box. 16:10 left in the period. We'll make note of the time because, as we've mentioned a couple of times along the way, the penalty time can't be displayed on the penalty clock. Down in the end zone to our right. Clearing attempt went up into the ceiling off the stick of the Toronto player, so the faceoff will come outside. And right off the faceoff, it's won by Saskatoon and sent down the floor. Patel, long shot, save is made. Rebound was there momentarily. Diving in there was Sarefa to try and get to it, but it was covered by Huffnagel. But Toronto will win a faceoff deep in Saskatoon territory. 19 seconds gone in the penalty to Saskatoon. Another face-off win for Saskatoon, and that can be one of your best penalty killers. If you can win face-offs in your own end and send it down the length of the floor, it'll take a lot of time off the clock. There's Pelig. Again, they elect to shoot it in and see if they can get in on the forecheck and get to it first. Strategy did not pay off that time. Saskatoon got to it first. That one went off a stick and up high just below the scoreboard. Discussion between the officials about where the face-off will be. The call goes Saskatoon's way, and they'll move the face-off all the way down just outside the Toronto blue line. Toronto player moved early. Santangelo will come in to take the face-off for Toronto against Delete, and Delete won it easily. Another face-off win for Saskatoon, killing more time. Just under a minute to go in the power play. Inglis. This time they'll bring it in over the blue line and set up rather than dump it in. Didn't work the first couple of times, so change it up. Inglis down in the corner. He's got Zachariah here at the right point. That's where the ball comes. His shot, that went off of number 77 of Saskatoon, Colby Lee. Got his foot out there and made the save. Here's Zachariah again. Inglis, back to Zachariah. Shot, again hit traffic in front, went wide. Inglis back to Zachariah. He'll go over the other side. Zachariah, one-timer, deflected out of play. One off the Saskatoon player. Just 4 seconds to go now in the Saskatoon penalty. That'll do it. Penalty is over. Team's back to even strength. Bula cutting inside. Bula, can he get to the ball? He does. Backhand scores. Oh, brilliant effort. Musa Bula. You see right here, he'll chip it past the defender, go get it himself, just catches up to it, enough to go to the backhand. Beautiful goal. Toronto back out in front, 2-1. The defender thought he could get to the ball first. Bula beat him to it. And off the boards to himself. And then it was just a question of whether or not he could catch up to it before it got to the goaltender. And just determination and hustle. It wasn't going to be denied. Ball goes out of play. It's been a fun first period, and we're only 6 minutes, 24 seconds into it. That shot whistled wide. Ricochets all the way out to center. Saskatoon on it. Saskatoon player goes down, and a penalty has been called. Tripping. O'Donoghue, Brody O'Donoghue, down to the penalty box for Toronto. Saskatoon struck first on a goal by Josh Anderson on the wraparound. And back-to-back goals by Toronto. Now a power play for Saskatoon. There's Anderson. He's got it on the right side. To Rask. Adair. Holding, looking. Nowhere to go. Back to Rask. Rask one-timer. No traffic in front. Save was made. Rebound cleared down the floor. They get it in over the blue line. Adair. He'll center it. On top of the blue line. Tough pass there, but Adair able to hold it in. Gets it to Rask. Rask he's got written on the back of his jersey rather, listed in the roster as Matt Landers. So we're going to go with Landers. Sometimes players wear other jerseys when they get to these tournaments. We don't have their own. Okay, this guy can't make it. You'll take his spot. Wear his jersey, but it's the number that counts. And he's listed on the website as Matt Landers. So we'll switch it up and go with that. A wrist shot kicked away by Fernandez and cleared by Toronto. Nice move there by Meyer, but couldn't hang on to the ball. Now we're a race for it. Sliding back to break that up was Josh Grimm. Still a power play here for Saskatoon. May pinned against the boards by Jackstite. Good battle behind the goal. Toronto get to it first, can't get it out. Anderson plays it back to the point. Grimm. To Carter. Anderson, penalties over. Rolled right through the crease. Ball is still loose. Referee looking in there. Finally blows the whistle. Pickup of 3, 1st and 7 from there. 2nd and 7 rather. That's why I don't do football. Tried it. Messed it up. Took one shot. Oh, that was wild. The referee was right there. I mean, we couldn't see it, but the ball obviously was loose. Toronto win the faceoff, flip it down the floor. It'll be over the goal line, and that will be a flooring call. Ryan Pelly lifted that one high in the air, hoping a teammate could run under it. I was going to throw in another football analogy, but thought better of it. O'Donoghue for Toronto. Dumps it in towards goal, and Huffnagel won't take any chances. We'll just cover it up. Now word from Napper. Saskatoon getting in a late change. This is Saskatoon's second game. They lost their opening game, so they are 0-1. The Toronto Monsters tied their first game. Again, this is just their second. So they've got one tie to show for their one game. They've got 1 point. Calgary Blazers also with 1 point. Saskatoon Lads with none right now. In the men's C, which is what we are watching now, there are 6 teams, 2 divisions of 3. All teams will make the playoffs. First place teams in each division will get a bye to the semifinals. And then they'll do a crossover. Second place versus third place in the 2 divisions. In essentially quarterfinals. That shot goes wide. And we will get to playoff games tomorrow afternoon. The medal games are all on Sunday. And we'll have all of them for you except for the men's B and C bronze medal games. The other 6 medal games will all be played here. The original Joe's Field and the ones that this is the field we are webcasting from. Smith down into the corner. As there's been another penalty called to Saskatoon. Toronto on the power play. Leading it 2-1. So Donahue. Knifed in by Pellig. Pellig in there first to get to it. Pellig getting control for Toronto back at the point. Patel gave it away. Now Patel has to go back into his own end to retrieve it. Quickly up ahead at the blue line. Brought in, but offside was Zafira. Zarefa, not Zafira. That's another team. "24 teams taking part in the national championships, men's B, C, and D, and women's B here in Saskatoon this week. Games being played 3 different pads, or fields, or surfaces, whichever you prefer, all here in the same facility. And Saskatoon has killed off that penalty. Now here they come. Anderson, who opened the scoring. Delete. Shot. Save is made. Fernandez wasn't quite sure where it was. It's cleared by his teammates along the boards. Knocked out of the air, but touched first by Saskatoon. So no whistle. Right out in front. Couple of chances. How'd that not go in? First chance was a good one. The second one I thought was in for sure. Somehow it stayed out. Here's Carter. Saskatoon coming oh so close to tying this one. And sloughed it down into the corner. Pasquale trying to catch up. Carter got back first. He and Pasquale go hard to the boards, and a penalty is being called. It's going to go against Toronto. Anthony Pasquale. Two for body checking. Comes with 8:02 to go in the first period. Eric Meyer to face off against Chad Atkinson. Ball goes to the far boards and golf down the floor. Grimm Not in over the blue line. It doesn't matter. It's going to be cleared down the floor by Toronto anyway. Grimm. That just stayed in play. Landers. Now they'll get it in. Meyer, his shot stopped by Fernandez. Grimm, Landers. They just muscle it in front and it's cleared behind the goal. Shot right on goal. Goaltenders saw that all the way. We get a little bit of pushing and shoving. You can see there was a lane there with no players in front, so Fernandez, a relatively easy save. Minute 9 seconds gone in the power play. Won by Saskatoon. Adair. Colton Adair with the ball here at the left point. Get the return pass, can't shoot it. Anderson shoots it off a leg. Stoneham on it first and easily sends it down the floor. And a good penalty kill by Toronto. Those teams are back to 5-on-5. Eriksson behind his goal. Eriksson trying to work it up along the boards. Pasquale is all over him. Ball comes loose. Chance for Toronto. Save is made, and Pasquale is down and shaken up for Toronto. And it appears a penalty has been called against Saskatoon. Both officials with their arms in the air. They'll get together, see if they have the same call. And let's see what they are calling. 4 minutes high sticking. Stick penalties are 4 minutes in ball hockey. It comes with 5:43 to go in the first. Power play for Toronto, leading it 2-1. Face-off win for Toronto. Pellig looked up and the ball went under his stick. So he's got to go back to get it, and then they've got to regain the zone. O'Donoghue gets it back. They've got it in. Pellig, O'Donoghue, one-timer. Huffnagel had a look around. Patel has it over at the left side, brings it back towards the blue line, gives it to Patel. Patel shoots wide. A lot of traffic in front of the goaltender. Patel. Pellig. And they play catch back and forth. Need to get the ball moving. A lot of standing still out there right now on the power play for Toronto. Pass and stand still. It's not going to get it done. A shot. Player is down in the crease for Toronto. Play allowed to continue. Finally, they blow the whistle. It's Dylan Steele. And And he's having words with the Saskatoon player. Steele very unhappy. Having words with big number 89, Joshua Grimm of Saskatoon. And now Steele is yelling at Huffnagel, the Saskatoon goaltender. I have a feeling I may have figured out what happened. Steele was in front of Huffnagel. I think Huffnagel gave him the stick, because Steele is very angry at Huffnagel. Grimm came in to defend his goaltender, and everybody ended up jawing. Now the referee is calling something right in front of the goaltender. Looks like a slashing call. His tempers are starting to get a little hot. Interference will go against Toronto. I can only assume that's interference against the goaltender. As they were battling in the crease, he must have... Well, Toronto thought Huffnagel had done something a little untoward towards Steele. So when they got a pile up in front of the goal and battle in front of the goal, somebody clearly gave Huffnagel a little poke. The referee caught it and called for interference. That, folks, is my interpretation of what happened. So each team with a player in the penalty box. So 4-on-4. It's over the head of Landers down the floor. That'll be a flooring call against Toronto. As the intensity has picked up a little bit here between these two teams. Face-off win for Toronto. May takes it behind his goal. And we'll just hold it. There's just under 4 minutes to go. Maybe we can just kill the rest of the period back there. Now he'll move it out. So he got going. He moved quickly. Pass down for Inglis. Watched by Carter. Inglis along the boards. Carter wins that battle. Gets it out for Saskatoon. Good pass. We got a 2-on-1. That's onside. Scores. Great play that time by Eric Meyer. He didn't score the goal, but he's the player who stayed onside as the pass was a little bit behind him, and he kept it alive. And here you see Meyer. He has to wait, stays onside, keeps that right foot back, and then makes the great pass. And Saskatoon has tied it up. Anderson down the left side, watched by Pellig. Anderson behind the goal. He and Pellig, that's a physical battle back there. Anderson wins it. Shot comes right back to Jackstite. Jogiet. Patel. Patel trying to spin away. He does. Gives it to Pelig. Pelig mishandled it briefly. Gets it to Jogiet. Into the middle to Peleg. Bula had that great goal for Toronto earlier in the period. Right up through the middle comes Anderson to Colby. They turn it over. Will come the other way. 2-on-1. Late change by Saskatoon. Bula. Pass broken up. Rebound is there. It's loose in the crease. They score. Saskatoon guilty of a very bad line change. It's the second time this period they've gotten caught. This time it results in a goal. Here's Bula. First it stopped. Good play by Schlosser, but the ball stays in front of the goal and finally banged home. And Toronto back out in front. 3-2. It has been an interesting first period. Lots happening. Lots of goals, some good saves, bit of rough stuff. What else do you want? Donahue played it back to Inglis. Back to Zarefa. Steele. He had it taken away. Back comes Saskatoon as we go up and down the floor. That shot just wide. Inglis on it first. In there with Heppel. Dumped out. Steele. Leaves it. O'Donoghue. Over for Zarefa. The ball goes out of play. We'll be back for the last minute and 33 seconds in just a moment. And the shot was put wide, right, right from the faceoff. Stolen behind the goal by Steele. Fed it out in front, cleared away by Saskatoon. There'll be a flooring call against Saskatoon. As Bogdan went down at center, he was bumped by Quattro Siacci. Quite a size difference between those two. Quattro Siacci just held his ground. Bogdan ran into him and Bogdan went down. This is Quattro Siacci. Shot in, went wide from Stoneman. And another interference call. A lot of penalties in this first period as well. This one against Saskatoon. Be number 23, Matt Landers. Just a minute 10 to go here in the first. Toronto with a chance to maybe take a 2-goal lead into the second period as they go to work here on the power play. Peleg. Patel, hard shot. Huffnagel made the save, and Saskatoon will bring it out shorthanded. Shot off the stick of Patel, so faceoff will stay right there. Long shot in on Huffnagel, kicks it to the boards, and cleared away by Saskatoon. Patel brings it in. Passed it back for O'Donoghue. He's all tied up in the slot area, and once again it's sent down the floor. Coming out to play it is Fernandez. Tipped in. Will go wide of the goal. Lee shot it around, but it doesn't get out. Scores! Shot from the point was deflected. I believe that was Patel with the shot. Not sure who got a stick on it. I don't know if we can pick it up here in our replay. Saskatoon got to it first, but couldn't get it out. Just inside the blue line, a shot. Well, the only guy in front. Can't see the number. See if we can stay with it long enough. We may lose it before he turns around. May have gone in all the way. Just the player seemed to be off to the side a little bit. So it may be Patel's goal. Comes with just 3.3 seconds to go in the period. That's a killer for Saskatoon. They had control of it, just couldn't get it out. The buzzer goes. So Toronto will take a 4-2 lead going into period number 2. We play just 2 periods. And we'll take a 5-minute break, just a 5-minute intermission. And then we will be back with the second half of this game. You are watching the Canadian Ball Hockey Association Men's B, C, and D and the Women's B National Championships from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's brought to you by the Canadian Ball Hockey Association and 360 Live. 5-on-5 as we start this second period with Toronto leading it 4-2. There's Landers. Let's shoot it into the corner. May back there first for Toronto. Toronto able to move it out past the blue line, not out over center yet. Now Atkinson has it. That hit a foot, and Saskatoon will come back. Landers up ahead to Adair. He's forced back by Tavares. And there's an elbow that was thrown up against the boards. Two players went in. The player who was up against the boards retaliated with the left elbow. Let's see that one pretty clearly. That's going to be Adair gone to the penalty box for Saskatoon. Four minutes he's going to get for contact to the head. It was an elbow, but it was also thrown at the head of the Toronto player. So things not looking good right now for the home side. The Saskatoon lads, they trail by 2, and now they've got a 4-minute penalty kill ahead of them. Well, good start. So talk about all the time. You win that first face-off, you kill 20, 30 seconds. As opposed to the other team winning the face-off and immediately going on to the offense. Now Toronto has it, sets up. Pellig down along the board, she'll get the return pass. O'Donoghue down into the corner. Zarafa. Patel is here on the left side. Steele in the corner. Back to Zarafa. And intercepted and sent down the floor. Saskatoon changing up their penalty killers. Ball comes out. Patel. Back to O'Donoghue. Need to get it in over the blue line, then they can set up. Shot it in wide. On it first. Saskatoon. Lewis Carter will once again send Toronto back into their own end. And some extracurriculars. Steele involved once again. And the referee has called a penalty. I think it's going to go against Carter. Lewis Carter of Saskatoon has put a bit of a headlock on Dylan Steele in front, spun him around. Boy, Dylan Steele has been a burr in the saddle of the Saskatoon lads here this morning. As we move into this afternoon, 12:37 here locally in Saskatoon. That faceoff was actually won by Toronto, but it went right between the 2 point men. Zachariah. Over to Inglis, back to Zachariah. 5-on-3 now. Smith. Back to Zachariah. Inglis. Actually over there now, that is O'Donoghue with the shot and the save made by Huffnagel. Still 5-on-3. Another good face-off win by Saskatoon. They're making Toronto work for this. Zachariah gets it in over the blue line. O'Donoghue back to Smith, back to O'Donoghue. Smith, one-timer wide, comes off the end boards and cleared down the floor. One and done for Toronto that time. They'll make some changes. Inglis, Santangelo come off. O'Donoghue with a chance. Save made by Huffnagel. Kept in. Good play there by Patel. O'Donoghue back to Patel. O'Donoghue. Patel wanted that one-timer. Put it over the top of the goal. Zachariah has it. Back to Patel. That one off of Colby. And the player is down for Saskatoon. The whistle goes. They'll check on him. Toronto changing up their power play unit. Patel and Zarefa back at the point. Bula, Jagiet, and Memon up front. This is a new look for Toronto. Some players we haven't seen up front a whole lot of. Good job there by Patel to hold it in. Patel. He's got Bula on the left. Zarefa on the right. They go down into the corner. Back to Bula. Patel. Looking for the tip. Zarefa was there at the side of the goal. Got a stick on it, but it was deflected wide, and then Saskatoon clear it out. 5-on-4 now. The first penalty has expired. And once again, that'll come out. So far, a great penalty kill by Saskatoon. Jagiet steps around Josh Grimm. Bula has it. Stepping in, down to Zarefa. Second penalty has expired. 5-on-5. Great penalty kill by Saskatoon. Goal there might have ended it. Long shot. Save made by Huffnagel, and he will hold on, and we will be right back. So now that Saskatoon has killed that off, see if they can, no, Zachariah thought he had a goal. The whistle had gone, face-off, not taken cleanly. Let's see if they can gain some momentum from that penalty kill. This time, they tried to get it back to Zachariah. That was read nicely by Meyer of Saskatoon. Players go to the boards. No penalty being called. It's a rough one out there. Stoneham pushing his man. Saskatoon muscling it out in front. Players tumbling all over the place. Referee's arm has gone in the air. Who's going to go? It looks like, well, let's hold off. There's a Toronto player down in the crease. Still waiting to see what the penalty call is. I don't want to speculate. There's a lot of talking back and forth in this game. Fernandez, the Toronto goaltender, having words with one of the Saskatoon players. Not sure who the Toronto player is down in the crease. We can't see his number. The trainer is out administering to him. Penalty is to Saskatoon. That was big number 81. Adam Quattrociacci. And just as I say, it's gotten physical out there. A player injured. There you see the lone goaltender down there, Fernandez, Sean Fernandez. Over the benches, lots of conversation happening. Still, the conversation continues over at the penalty box area. The Saskatoon player who had gone to the bench has now been ejected from the game. It's Eric Meyer. So he's done for this one. Don't know what else may come of that. And we don't get the announcements here. There's a Toronto player gone in the penalty box as well, so 4-on-4. Anderson trying to get it out from behind the goal. Smith. Anderson's all over him. It's kicked free behind the goal. Inglis hard around the boards. That hit something there along the boards, took a funny bounce and came out, and Colby has it. Erickson turning. Erickson bringing it in over the blue line, forgot the ball. Smith gets it into Zachariah. Knocked away from him by Brendan Jones of Saskatoon. Lots of room out there, 4-on-4. Here's Adair, going to try a 1-on-1. Shot scores! Why not? You've got room, take advantage of it. Right back in it out of the Saskatoon lads. Okay, that was an earlier play. So we may not get the goal we were looking for, unfortunately, but it is 4-3 now. Saskatoon on it. So that penalty kill proving big right now. And we remain 4-on-4. That was an even strength goal. O'Donoghue trying to cut in front, stops up, spins, takes it back towards the blue line, then backhands it behind the goal. Pellick back there, wraparound, went right through the crease. Steele with a shot nowhere near the net. O'Donoghue with it. O'Donoghue back to Patel. Long shot, wide of the target and taken by Saskatoon, but a little slow to move it. Steele stole it. And now we've got a penalty. Everybody looking around. Who's that on? It's calling Dylan Steele. Saskatoon fans like the call. Dylan Steele, not so much. Now, Saskatoon hasn't got enough players out there. Did they call penalties on both teams? Because right now it's 4-on-4. I only saw the call against Steele, but looks like there's 2 players from each team in the penalty box. No, okay. I thought it should be 4-on-3. Because it was 4-on-4 when the penalty was called against Steele. And 4-on-3, by my count, is correct. And that's what it is. Saskatoon with the power play. Chance to tie it up. Anderson. Eriksson missed on the one-timer. Eriksson's got it again in the corner. Kick to the boards. Toronto trying to get it out. They will. Here they come. As far as center. Don't get it out. It stays in over the red line. Anderson has got it. He's got Adair heading for the front of the goal. Adair's got it and put it over the top of the net. Now short-handed. Zarefa. Well, the first penalty has expired, so it's 4-on-4 out there right now. Sure would be nice to have a penalty clock. Keep track of this. O'Donoghue went down. Not for the faint of heart, this one. May. Adair chasing him, gets it to Inglis. Long stretch pass, a little bit too far for O'Donoghue. Carter to Adair. Adair getting around the outside. Adair to the backhand. Save is made. Rebound is there. Grimm put it just wide as it may have gone off a couple of the bodies in front. Grimm with another shot. Save made by Fernandez. Not sure he saw it. Hit him up high. It is 4-on-4. Cleared down the floor. Plenty of action. Grimm and Inglis battling along the boards. May settling it down behind his goal. To Bula. Right in front, just failing to connect on that was Jogiat. Kept in, good hustle by Pellig. Pellig, shot on goal, easy save there for Hufnagel. Wow, this has been a terrific second period. Coming up next at 1:15, if this one can end on time. Looks like it may not. This one's taking a little longer to play. But, scheduled for 1:15. Women's division, Edmonton Cherry Pickers and the Calgary Vipers. Edmonton versus Calgary. That should be fun. So now they've got to have a discussion over the penalty area about who should be coming out and who should be staying in. I think a Toronto player may have come out early. And the Saskatoon coach wants an explanation as to what's going on. Let's see what we've got as the players come back out on the floor. Because again, we don't get a penalty clock to show exactly what the penalties are, nor do we get announcements. So, I come loaded with a bindle full of excuses. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-on-4. I'm going to redo that face-off. Don't know if I've used the word bindle before in a webcast. That may be a first. And you were here to hear it. All right, let's get back at it. Long shot in, saved by Fernandez. Big rebound, but he reaches out, covers it up. Whistle goes. Offside. Whistle had gone, so the faceoff comes outside the blue line. Anderson wins it. It's dumped in by Saskatoon. Patel will take it back behind his goal. Adil Patel. Adair will think about going in to try and force him to move it. He does. Good pass. That's onside. O'Donoghue trying to get around Colby. He and Colby go to the boards. Now it's here on the near side. Anderson trying to get it out. Pellig had him tied up. Anderson has it for Saskatoon. Anderson tried to drop it back to his defense, but Colby had zigged, and Anderson thought he was going to zag. Anderson working it off the boards. Penalty coming up against Toronto. They'll just give them the ball. As the Saskatoon penalty had just expired, so it was just 5-on-4. That'll go 5-on-3, I believe, if my math is correct. A lot happening, including a timeout, much needed one. Toronto calls the timeout. They lead at 4-3, still almost half a period to go. This is only our second game. I think this one may run a little long. First one finished early. It was a mercy win. Victoria mercied Edmonton 7-0 into the second period. The game ended fairly early into the second. Our third game of the day, as I mentioned a moment ago, in the women's B, Edmonton versus Calgary. And we'll go back to the men's B, Winnipeg Grasshoppers. We have not seen yet here at the original Joe's Field on our webcast. Taking on Edmonton Bar South. We saw them in our opening game yesterday afternoon. And then we'll go to the men's D. Vaughan Saints, who we saw yesterday, lost their opening game. Take on Saskatoon, hungry for apples. Apples, assists. Hockey jargon. Again, we haven't seen that team yet, so that'll be a new one for us. And then lots more games after that. We've got a few teams that did not make the webcast schedule yesterday playing today. Everybody gets to go on the webcast. Mom and dad, aunts and uncles, family and friends all get to see the players. And it is indeed 5-on-3 for Saskatoon. What an opportunity here, trailing by 1. That shot did not get through. They scored just as the first penalty had expired. That'll go down as a 5-on-4. It was a very short 5-on-3. So a Adair shot. Hit somebody in front. Ball comes back to Anderson, bangs it home, and we are tied. 4-4. Toronto had led at 4-2 after the opening 20 minutes. Saskatoon has come back here in the second and evened the score. Broken up at the blue line. It goes into the Toronto bench. Landers across to Carter, off the boards to himself. Didn't quite work, didn't get the angle quite right. And now he's in a bit of trouble. Gets helped out. Cleared in by Toronto. Landers back to get it. Lifted high down the floor. It goes to the goaltender, who will grab it and hang on. Not sure Fernandez had to catch that one. If he let it go, it may have been a flooring call. Looked like it was going wide, but discretion being the better part of valor, he held on to it. Bogdan got it to Atkinson, and then he lost it, and Toronto will come the other way. Bula is stopped by Colby. Dumped in by Bula. Jones. Bula picks that off along the boards. Bula back to Patel. Patel. He'll shoot it from there. Scores! Wow. Did not think he was going to shoot it. He was so far out. But he elected to go ahead and take his chances. Any shot on goal is a good one, right, folks? How many times have we heard that? Patel, a little tough to see. He's right down below us. Tough for the camera to get it, but somehow that got through. Toronto back on top, 5-4. Pellig got it ahead. They gain the zone. That's onside. Pellig. And to Jogiet. Trying to jam it in. He stepped out on the short side, but Huffnagel made the save. Still 7:08 to go in this one. It's already 1:02. The next game scheduled for 1:15. Programming note, we're going to be late on our third game of the day. Ball went out of play. Faceoff will come outside the Toronto blue line. Smith. Good play by the Saskatoon defender to get it. Well, almost got it out. Here from behind the goal at least, but it's kept in by Toronto. Inglis reaching in there. That'll go up into the mesh. And out of play. The officials confer as to who touched it last. Pretty sure it went off the Saskatoon player, and that's what they're going to rule. Delete. Backhands it in. Smith for Toronto. Moves to the other side. Steele bounces it in to the goaltender, who will hold on. He'll take the whistle and the face-off to his left. Stoneham, he'll try the shot from outside. That was blocked, and back comes Saskatoon. Adair right in front. Flying in there was Carson Bogdan. Couldn't get his stick on the ball. That pass misfires. He'll go down the floor, and the faceoff will come back down to our right. Face-off win by Saskatoon. Ball bouncing around inside the blue line. Kept in. Jones with a shot. Scores! What we say about any shot on goal is a good one. There's an example again. As the first shot came in, I think you see it just kind of bounces around in there. Nobody can get a good handle on it. And then just throw it towards the net. You never know. 5-5. 5:15 to go. Let's try that face-off again, says the referee. That one's done cleanly, won by Toronto. O'Donoghue has got it in over the blue line. Working there against Schlosser. That went through the crease into the near corner. Nice play by Zarefa to hold it in. And back comes Saskatoon. Bogdan. Right on, goal from outside. Fernandez has that. Grimm against Zarefa. Zarefa won it. Cleared it down the floor. Playing 5-on-5. The score is 5-5. And we've got 4.5 to go. Shot by Jack Stite. Carter knocked it down at the blue line, but it's played in by Toronto. The ball goes high in the air. Right down by the face-off dot. Dylan Steele gets it back. Hiring shot there by O'Donoghue. Save made by Huffnagel. Grimm clears it in around behind the goal. Jack Stite couldn't get to it. Mammon for Toronto. Mammon over center. Here on the left side, Bula. Bula working along the boards, gets it to O'Donoghue. That went off the stick of Heppel down into the corner, comes back to Heppel. Gets to center. Off the boards, will chase in there against May. Heppel and May go to the boards. Kept in by Saskatoon. To Chuck. Heppel. Back at the point. The late shot blocked. Again, the ball's bouncing just inside the blue line. This time corralled by Toronto. Bula drops it back. Jogiet. All the way back to May. May, long shot. That's well wide of the net. Anderson. Oh, nice play there by Patel. Drop down to one knee and break that up. Anderson just inside the blue line. Tried to get it to Tkachuk in front. Back to Jones. Jones to Delate. Jogiet was on him. It's kept in by Patel. Patel shot hit his teammate Santangelo right in the mouth inside the blue line. Adair turns, fires it into the corner. Smith. Santangelo still out there. Kept in by Saskatoon. Smith along the boards. Smith and Jones. Players collide in behind the net. Play allowed to continue. Comes out in front. Bounces around. Huffnagel's got it and holds on. High in the air it goes. Grimm. Trying to get around the outside of Inglis. Grimm threw it out in front, cleared away by Toronto. Time winding down. It's cleared down the floor. Let's take our final break with 1:21 to go. Tie game, 5-5. We have got a timeout has been called. Face-off will be deep in the Toronto end, to the right of goaltender Sean Fernandez. One of the more entertaining games we've had so far. We did 6 yesterday. This is just our second today. Women's game scheduled for 1:15. It is 1:13 now. So we know that one is going to be late starting. Things stayed pretty much right on schedule yesterday. Ran quite well. Big face-off here in the Toronto end. Zarefa against Anderson. Anderson won it, comes to the front of the goal and cleared away. Steele is on it. Dylan Steele gets to center, sends it in. Wide of the goal. Carter back there. Gave it away to Steele. It went right through the crease. Tried to reverse it, and Steele was waiting for it. Up ahead, Anderson with a chance if he can corral it. Anderson knocked down. He cut for the goal. Inglis stayed with him. Anderson's got it behind the goal. Out in front, comes all the way back towards the blue line. Kept in momentarily, then it's out. Adair with it, but they have to regain the offensive zone. Now Carter has it hop over his stick. He's got to go all the way back into his own end. Landers thought about shooting it. Now he will. Hard shot That just went over the top of the goal. Had Fernandez ducking. Right in front to Anderson. They bang away at it. It's put wide. Anderson with a great chance. Landers winds up, shoots. That hit Anderson in front and went wide. 15 seconds to go. Now Toronto. As O'Donoghue. Pass went off his foot into the corner. Threw it out in front. Huffnagel plays it to the corner. And time is going to run out in regulation in this one. It'll end. 5-5 tie. It's Toronto's second tie in as many games. For Saskatoon, they now have a loss and a tie. No overtime in regulation. 2 points for a win, 1 for a tie. Keep it simple. Stay on schedule best you can. Already we're going to be a little bit late. Our next game scheduled for right now. So we will be 5 or 10 minutes late getting to that one. All right, we are going to step aside, get ready for that women's game. We've got the Edmonton Cherry Pickers to play the Calgary Vipers coming up next. Stay with us. More ball hockey, lots more ball hockey to bring you today. This was just the second. We've got 6 more games to bring you. These are the Canadian Ball Hockey Association Men's BC&D and Women's B National Championships. We are in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.